Pandemonium is a Gerstlauer spinning coaster at Six Flags St. Louis in Eureka, Missouri. It's a very common clone in the Six Flags chain and across the country as well, but it's a really fun layout for all families to enjoy. The ride opened in 2007 in the middle of the park and originally was named Tony Hawk's Big Spin. It was renamed a few years later, but still has the same colors from when it originally opened, and the trains do still vaguely look like skateboards from the side. The ride also has a moving loading station to increase capacity, unlike its clone named Spinning Dragons at Worlds of Fun, which are probably the slowest operations I've ever seen. The ride feels pretty much identical other than that, and Pandemonium is a little smoother. The ride just has a standard lap bar restraint that can kind of staple you sometimes, but usually gives some decent room for airtime. The seats also face inwards with 4 riders in each car, and spin a lot more if there's just riders on one of the 2 sides. The stats are pretty standard for a family coaster with a height of 48 feet, speed of 31 miles per hour, and a track length of 1,351 feet. Now that we got the stats out of the way, let's see how it rides. The ride begins with a pretty speedy lift hill, followed by an aggressive first drop to the left into a little switchback section as the ride vehicle starts spinning. It then goes into a descending helix as the vehicle spins even more, into another helix and a mid-course brake run. There is then a small drop into a bit of a janky section and another little turnaround section before it drops off again into a pretty strong airtime hill with a solid pop of ejector. The ride then ends with a low to the ground helix into the final brake run as you keep spinning for a bit as you wait to disembark the coaster. Pandemonium is a really fun little family coaster, and there is a good reason it has been cloned and put in a lot of parks across the country. The ride experience can definitely vary a lot depending on how the vehicle is balanced. For example, a full train will probably spin a good amount, but not nearly as much as it did in the POV shown in this review, where it spun basically the entire time because there's only weight on one side of the car. Some people may prefer this way, but it can also be very dizzying, so you'll have to decide which ride experience you would prefer when you visit the park. Either way, it's a fun little ride and very rideable. It's probably the 6th best coaster at the park, just behind the Woodies, Batman, and Mr. Freeze. I would definitely recommend going on this coaster when you visit Six Flags St. Louis, especially if you've never done one of these before, because they're especially fun your first time. Be sure to subscribe for more content and be on the lookout for more coaster reviews and other theme park videos in the near future.